So it's my pleasure to welcome guest of honor, Mr. Ramesh, Selmo Marketing, our distinguished speaker, Dr. Priya Ramachandran, and well-known pediatric cardiac surgeon, Dr. Prashant Shah, and Mr. Rangarajan, CFO, Child Trust Hospital. And Dakshayani, our DRFC. As per tradition, let's begin. I request our Sergeant at Arms, Rotarian Sunil Khatri, to call our President. As always, let us remind ourselves of the principles that guide us in all our endeavors. I request Rotarian T. Sridhar to give us the Rotary 4-way test.
Rotary 4-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
It's a very special meeting today because we are set to go give all our hearts to children who probably don't know what they are going through in life. There is a touching quote from Nelson Mandela which I want to share. He said, "Let's reach out to the children. Let's do whatever we can to support their fight to rise above their pain and suffering." And he also said, "History will judge us by the difference we make in the everyday lives of children." I think it's a very good moment for all of us to be part of this project. Thank you.
My dear RCGNs, first I want to extend a warm welcome to DRFC Dakshayani Madam. Please welcome. And our special guest Ramesh, Managing Director of Selmo Marketing Private Limited, and Dr. Priya Ramachandran. It's wonderful to have you all with you tonight, along with my dear Rotary Club of India members. Friends, I stand before you today because we achieved something truly remarkable. During my installation at Green Park Hotel, first day, நம்ம வந்து ஒரு 3 சிஎஸ்ஆர் ப்ராஜெக்டை வந்து பண்ணுவோன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அக்ரி பண்ணாங்க கம்பெனி சிஎஸ்ஆர் கார்பரேட்ஸ். அதில் வந்து அது ஃபஸ்ட் இன்ஸ்டாலேஷனில் பண்ணது வந்து டுடே ஆஃப்டர்நூன் we have successfully completed one CSR project, the first CSR project of Rotary Club of India for the value of $46,000 for giving smart vision glasses to through Sankara Nethralaya to the beneficiaries. I thank IPP Ramesh Babu and Neelakandan for initiating the project and executed today afternoon. I would like to thank all the members of Rotary Club of India for the first project. And இந்த நாள் வந்து ரொம்ப ரோட்டரி கிளப் ஆஃப் இண்டியாவில் வந்து ஒரு மறக்க முடியாத நாளாக இருக்கும். பிகாஸ் ஒரு சிஎஸ்ஆர் ப்ராஜெக்ட் வந்து ஆஃப்டர்நூன் கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணிட்டோம். த செகண்ட் சிஎஸ்ஆர் ப்ராஜெக்ட், தி அரும்புகள் ப்ராஜெக்ட், பீடியாட்ரிக் கார்டியாக் சர்ஜரிஸ் ஃபார் 50 childrens. The total cost of the project is $30,000. ஸோ அது வந்து இன்னைக்கு ஈவினிங் நம்ம we are going to launch the project. The entire money is collected and the entire money was credited to our CSR account. ஸோ இன்னைக்கு வந்து 2 ப்ராஜெக்ட் நம்ம வந்து கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். இது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் இன்னும் 2 ப்ராஜெக்ட் வந்து லைன் அப்பில் இருக்குது. ஒன் இஸ் மேமோகிராஃபி, சோனோ மேமோகிராம் மிஷின் ஃபார் USD worth $60,000. அண்ட் ஒன் மோர் ப்ராஜெக்ட் இஸ் பாட்டசாலா இஸ் அகைன் $30,000. ஸோ அதுவும் இஸ் கோயிங் டு பி சூன். அதுக்கு பெனிஃபிஷியரிஸ் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணிட்டோம். ஸோ இட் இஸ் ஆல் ஹேப்பனிங் பிகாஸ் இஃப் யுவர் டோனர்ஸோட சப்போர்ட்டும் ரோட்டரி கிளப் ஆஃப் இண்டியோட சப்போர்ட்டும் தான் இதுக்கு மெயின் காரணம். ஸோ இந்த சிஎஸ்ஆர் சங்கர நேத்திரலாக்கு வந்து த மேஜர் டோனர் த $21,000 கொடுத்தது அவர் ஓன் ரொட்டேரியன் சேஷன். டெஃபினெட்லி யூ நீட் a big round of applause. ஸோ இன்னைக்கு அந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் நம்ம மெம்பரால் தான் இன்னைக்கு நடந்தது. டுடே வி ஹவ் கம்ப்ளீட்டட் 50 ஸ்மார்ட் கிளாஸஸ். தேங்க்யூ சேஷன்ஜி. அண்ட் செகண்ட் ப்ராஜெக்ட் இஸ் அரும்புகள் ப்ராஜெக்ட். இந்த அரும்புகள் பீடியாட்ரிக் கார்டியாக் சர்ஜரிஸ் பேசும்போது ஃபஸ்ட்டு ஐ தேங்க் ஸ்ரீகாந்த் ஆனந்தால் இஸ் டூயிங் ஃபென்டாஸ்டிக். இது ஃப்ரம் த பிகினிங்லேருந்து நாங்கள் வந்து இன்றைக்கி வந்து ஆக்சுவலாக ரோட்டரி கிளப் ஆஃப் கிண்டி வந்து இப்போ வந்து சிஎஸ்ஆரில் வந்து நிறைய கார்பரேட்ஸ் வந்து நம்மக்கிட்ட கொடுக்குறாங்க. அந்த மெயின் ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயம் என்னன்னாக்கா ரோட்டரி கிளப் ஆஃப் கிண்டி அவங்க மெம்பர்ஸ் மேலே வச்சுருக்கிற நம்பிக்கை தான். ஸோ தே ஆர் ஐடென்டிஃபைங் த வெரி குட் பெனிஃபிஷியரிஸ், பார்ட்னர்ஸ் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுவாங்க. அப்படிங்கிற ஒரே காரணத்தால் தான் வி ஆர் கெட்டிங் ஸோ மச் ஆஃப் கார்பரேட்ஸ் சிஎஸ்ஆர்ஸ் டு ரோட்டரி கிளப் ஆஃப் கிண்டி. ஸோ அந்த இருக்கும்போது அந்த அரும்புகள் ப்ராஜெக்ட்டுக்கு வந்து வி நீட் எ பார்ட்னர். அப்போ வந்து அவர் ஃப்ரெண்டு, மை க்ளோஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட் மிஸ்டர் ரமேஷ், அவரை பற்றி சொல்லணும் எப்படின்னாக்கா ரொம்ப ஹம்பிள் பர்சன். அவர் இந்த மீட்டிங் கூட வரமாட்டேன்னு சொன்னார். இல்லை, மேடை ஏற மாட்டார், ரொம்ப அமைதியான அன்பான அவர்கிட்ட பேச்சோம்னா கேட்டேன் நான், சார் இது மாதிரி நாங்கள் ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்ட், அரும்புகள் ப்ராஜெக்ட், இது மாதிரி 50 சில்ட்ரன்ஸ்க்கு வந்து கார்டியக் சர்ஜரிஸ் கொடுக்குறோன்னு போது, இப்போ நம்ம கிளப்பை பற்றி சொன்னேன், ரோட்டரியை பற்றி சொன்னேன். அவர் இமீடியட்டாக அவர் வந்து அக்ரீட் ஃபார் 21,000 USD வச்சுக்கோங்க, நல்ல காசுக்கு. அவர் சொன்ன ஒரே வார்த்தை அதே மட்டும்தான், ஐ பிலீவ் ரோட்டரி அண்ட் ஐ பிலீவ் யூ. ஸோ நீங்கள் பண்ணுங்கள், ரோட்டரி மேலே எனக்கு நம்பிக்கை இருக்குது, நீங்கள் பண்ணுவீங்க, கரெக்டான ஐடென்டிஃபை தான் பண்ணுவீங்க, பார்ட்னர்ஸ் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணிங்கிற ஒரு நம்பிக்கை. இது ஆல் கிரெடிட் கோஸ் டு ரோட்டரி தான். இந்த ரோட்டரி பில்டப் ஆன ஆல் மெம்பர்ஸ்க்கு தான் இது காரணம். ஸோ அது மேலே வச்சிருக்கிற நம்பிக்கையில் தான் அவர் சிஎஸ்ஆர் பார்ட்னர் ரமேஷ் இமீடியட்லி அக்ரீடு ஃபார் 21,000 USD இமீடியட்டாக அக்ரி பண்ணியிருக்காரு. தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் ரமேஷ் சார் ஃபார் கிவிங் 20,000 USD ஃபார் திஸ் நோபல் காஸ். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். அண்ட் ஒன் மோர் தேர்ட் ப்ராஜெக்ட் இஸ் சோனோ மேமோகிராம். இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் வந்து நம்ம வந்து டோட்டல் காஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த ப்ராஜெக்ட் இஸ் 60,000 USD. இது ப்ராஜெக்ட் வந்து நம்ம வந்து சிஎஸ்ஆர் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணும்போது நம்மளுடைய ஃபவுண்டேஷன் சேர்மன் மிஸ்டர் கணேசன் அவர்கிட்ட பேசிட்டு இருக்கும்போது இமீடியட்டாக அவர் சொன்னார், இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் நல்ல ப்ராஜெக்ட்டு, ஒய் வி டூ த்ரூ சிஎஸ்ஆர், குளோபல் கரண்ட் வேணாம், சிஎஸ்ஆர் மூலியம் பண்ணலான்னு சொல்லிட்டு இமீடியட்லி அக்ரீட் 21,000 USD ஃபார் திஸ் காஸ். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் கணேசன் சார். So we agree for through his company Jeff Info Solutions. Thank you so much for generously giving for 21,000 USD. Thank you so much. So almost the 3 project is over and 4th project Padasala, and the Padasala is construction of classrooms at Tambaram Government High Secondary School. அதுக்கு கூட நம்மளுடைய குட் ஃப்ரெண்ட் மிஸ்டர் ஞானசேகரன், he agreed for 21,000 USD for the project. So as of today, with all your support, ஏன்னா இது நடக்குதுன்னா பிகாஸ் ஆல் கார்பரேட்ஸ் இப்போ வந்து நம்ம வந்து நெக்ஸ்ட்டு குளோபல் கிராண்ட்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு இதுலேருந்து நம்ம வந்து சிஎஸ்ஆர் கிராண்ட்டுக்கு மூவ் பண்ணுறோம், எல்லா கார்பரேட்ஸும் நமக்கு பணம் கொடுக்குறாங்க அப்படின்னா ஒன்லி தி ரோட்டரி கிளப் ஆஃப் கிண்டி மேலே இருக்கிற நம்பிக்கையிலையும் கரெக்டான ஆளை பார்ட்னர்ஸை செலக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. அவங்க கொடுக்குற ஒவ்வொரு பணமும் வி அஷ்யூர் யூ ரமேஷ் சார், நீங்கள் கொடுக்குற ஒவ்வொரு பணமும் கரெக்டான பெனிஃபிஷியரிஸை போகும். பிகாஸ் வி ஹவ் ஐடென்டிஃபை த கரெக்ட் பார்ட்னர் சைல்ட் ட்ரஸ்ட் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல். கண்டிப்பாக அவங்க பெனிஃபிஷியரிஸை கரெக்டான பெனிஃபிஷியர்ஸ் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுவாங்க, நாங்கள் கூட இருப்போம். உங்களுடைய ஒவ்வொரு பணமும் எண்ட் யூஸரை போய் சேருன்றதை ஆன் பிஹாஃப் ஆஃப் கிண்டி மெம்பர்ஸ் சார்பாக நான் உங்ககிட்ட அஷூரன்ஸ் கொடுக்குறேன். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். அண்ட் நவ் வி ஹாவ் அ பிரியா மேடம், நாட் ஓன்லி இன்க்ரெடிபிள் சர்ஜன் பட் ஆல்சோ அன் அமேசிங் ஸ்பீக்கர். வெல்கம் மேடம். ஸோ நாங்கள் உங்கள் பேச்சை கேட்க ரெடியாக இருக்கோம், லுக்கிங் ஃபார்வர்ட் இது. அண்ட் த லாஸ்ட் தி நெக்ஸ்ட் one more project. So already 4 project is finalized, CSR corporate is ready, and one more project with youth is the solar panel for the corporation schools and government schools. So this project, one CSR partner is already given consent. In the month of March we will execute, God grace with your support. Kandipa adu through CSR பண்ணுவோம். So in the month of March it will be executed. So thank you so much for your all effort. Thank you members. Thank you.
Thank you, President. So it's our honor, privilege to launch this project Arumbugal. For this, I would like to invite our dynamic Community Health Services Director, Rotarian Srikanth Anandal, to launch this project.
Bala, you missed one more project that we are doing. So one of the things that we are planning to do is to conduct a mega health camp in a village. See, we already got funding of about 10 lakhs because there's a village in Tirunelveli district where there are people who are, there is a high prevalence of kidney diseases there. And so one of the things that the donor has asked us to do is to conduct a health camp and just look at it to see what could be the root cause. So we are just starting to do that. So that is something that is it's just happening right now. But it is a case where the money has been given and we have started the project also. So that's something that we wanted to bring it up in the. So ஓடி விளையாடு பாப்பா நீ ஓய்ந்திருக்கலாகாது பாப்பா கூடி விளையாடு பாப்பா ஒரு குழந்தையை வையாதே பாப்பா காலை எழுந்தவுடன் படிப்பு பின்பு கனிவு கொடுக்கும் நல்ல பாட்டு மாலை முழுவதும் விளையாட்டு என்று வழக்கப்படுத்தி கொள்ளு பாப்பா. So this is something that Bhartiya wanted and this is what he was telling the kids to do it also. But we just don't know how many kids can actually do it at this point of time because there are a lot of health issues also. One of the things is approximately about 2.5 lakh infants who are born, they have heart defects. So this is what it's called the congenital heart defects. And out of that, about 50,000 of them require immediate intervention during infancy for survival and prospect of having a normal life. So there is a complexity in doing this kind of pediatric surgery. That is one issue. But the other thing is also there is very little support in terms of the insurance payment by the state governments in different parts of the country. So that is why a lot of private hospitals have some kind of hesitation in taking up these kind of surgeries. Right? And that is where they are looking for if somebody is from a very poor family and if they have to get the kid operated or something like that, it becomes very difficult because the insurance is not going to fully support and the private hospitals are also not able to take care of it because ultimately it is for profit in most cases also. And cases like that is where an NGO or a independent donor or somebody like that comes into place. So we didn't know too much about it, but about a couple of months back, Dr. Deep, he's a Rotarian, he's a cardiologist at Kaveri Hospital. He brought it up to us saying that there is a requirement here and there are a lot of districts where we conduct camp and we see that kids have these kind of issues and we need some help in this kind of things, right? So we started looking around for partners with whom we can partner and immediately as soon as we announced that we are planning to do something like this as a project, money was not a problem at all. There are a lot of people willing to give and definitely Mr. Ramesh from Selvar Marketing, he gave the chunk of money. That is a big thank you sir from Rotary Club of Guinea for starting this one and putting a pillar ready for this one. As soon as that came up, immediately other people were lining up to give the money for it. And so within a matter of about few weeks, we got the money ready. And so we just had to get the MOU and all those things process signed up. And now we are at a stage we are ready to take up any surgery, support any surgery also. So today we want to do a couple of things. One is, first of all, we have identified a partner. Child Trust Hospital is where we are planning to do these surgeries initially. We want to get started with that one. Child Trust, we know, it's a very, very reputable organization. It has been helping the children for so long. And Dr. Priya, Ramachandran and Dr. Prashant, so all these people have been doing so many of surgical work there. So we are very comfortable with partnering with Child Trust. And so we now we have a MOU that has been signed. We want to exceed the MOUs as part of our launch process. And so for that, I would like to call our president, Mr. Bala, to come on to stage. And I would also like to call Priya ma'am, Dr. Priya, if you can come, we can exchange the MOUs. Please come. A partner to conduct these surgeries and Child Trust, we are very comfortable with them in terms of how they will do it. Commitment to this is 50 surgeries at this point of time of this. So 50 surgeries where for each surgery we are ready to pay 50,000. And so as of now, Child Trust keeps getting a lot of these kids for surgery and they keep conducting these surgeries. But from the time we have started, we now have two kids who are. So this is one kid, she needs an open heart surgery and so this is a symbolic check that we are handing it over now. Madam, here is a check to the CFO.
Good evening, one and all. Warm welcome to all of you. It's very heartwarming to see the start of the Arumunal project. a few months back when Shrikant sir and myself were discussing on what are the projects that we could take up. Being a cardiologist, I know how frequently we see these children who have missed the heart surgeries at the right point of time. And then it was only last week that I had a patient in my clinic, 20-year-old girl. And doctors must be knowing, she had a hole in her heart, exactly the condition that baby Matrei has. It's called a ventricular septal defect. That was not corrected at the correct time. She did not have surgery at the correct time. And now she's a 20-year-old full-grown adult, but now she's in a point of condition where her heart is completely spoiled, her lung is completely spoiled. She's not in any position to have any sort of surgery, and she's going to meet her end very soon. And these are a number of patients that, such patients that we do come across in everyday situations in my clinic. And that was what I was sharing with Shrikant sir. And Shrikant sir also had an experience of his own, which I thought he would share, he did not. But then we discussed, and then we thought something we can do, that we know there is a lacunae here. The pediatric cardiac surgeries, Chennai is the medical capital, but then we need more of pediatric cardiac surgeries to happen in our Chennai. I'm very, very happy the way it's been initiated. Thank you, President, and thank you, donors, for your gracious support for this project. Without you, it is impossible to conduct this one.
To put this shawl, Mr. Ramesh from Selmore Marketing. Thanks a lot, sir. I think without your help, thank you, Vinuji. And now, every time there is a project, as soon as it is announced, I think it is Vijay Anand who was like one of the first few people to open his purse and give the money. And he has also contributed extensively for this project also. Thanks a lot, Vijay Anand. I would like Vijay Anand to hand this over to Mr. Ramesh from Selmore Marketing. ಅದೇ ಇದು 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 ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vijay. Would also like to call Rotarian Sriram. Please. Rotarian Sriram, Dr. Prashant. Dr. Prashant Shah, thank you. Thanks a lot, and we are counting on you for. Thank you, Doctor. I know you have some throat issues, but thanks a lot for coming here and making sure that the presentation is delivered also. Excellent, very insightful presentation. If you want to say a few words.
Actually, my voice was so bad. Initially, I thought I'll not attend the function. And this is the cause which I always is touched to my heart. Not as a professional. You see, when I started my career, there are so many people told that this is not the branch where you can earn money. And but despite that, I have taken this branch, and the God grace is always kind. We have completed so many surgeries, and I have long association with Rotary Club. I have gone across the Tamil Nadu, each and every small center of the Rotary Club. I have done the camp in my initial career. So even I have seen, as I am basically Gujarati, settled in Tamil Nadu, but I have seen more Tamil Nadu than any of you actually. Okay, and we have completed so many projects with the Rotary Club, and the biggest project which we completed is 500 pediatric cardiac surgery with a global grant of Pasadena Rotary Club, and it has been appreciated all over Indian Rotary Club. And this is one of the very good noble cause you have taken, and I really congratulate all of you, because this is, as Dr. Deep told, it is really, really touchy and needy, these children. If you have to just come once and talk to the parents. You will not have any other question in your mind, and you will come, because I know Lakshmani madam very long, because Rotary enthusiast. She knows. She comes, talk to the parents, and very touchy. So I really thank you, all of you, and I thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. We know the kids are in very safe hands, and thanks a lot for all your help.
Contributed US dollars 21,000 as a CSR donation through his company, Jeff Info Solutions, towards the project Arokya. We would like to felicitate him for this benevolent gesture. Yes. Contributed for this project, and we would like to take this moment to thank them all for the support to this noble cause. One such person who stands out, big thanks to Rotarian Vijay Anand for procuring 7 lakhs from his contacts for this project.
Members, just I want to share the information. Please welcome Vijayanand. So, he's consistently year on year, he's getting CSR from through his contact, Mr. Vishnu Traders. I need a big round of applause for him for pitching the contribution for every year. Whenever we require fund, immediately வந்து விஜயானந்த் கிட்ட தான் கேட்போம், சார் எப்படியா சிஎஸ்ஆர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ அவர் விஷ்ணு டேடர்ஸ் சொல்கிற ஒரே இது இவர் சொல்லுவார். ஆக்சுவலாக விஷ்ணு டேடர்ஸ் வந்து விஜய் ஆனந்த் மேலே அவ்வளோ ஒரு நம்பிக்கை. நீங்கள் உங்களை நம்புகிறேன், ரோட்டரி நம்புகிறேன், நீங்கள் என்ன சொல்கிறீங்களோ சொல்லுங்கள், நான் கொடுக்குறேன்றாரு. தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் விஜய் ஆனந்த் ஃபார் கிவிங். அமர், ப்ளீஸ் வெல்கம், ப்ளீஸ் கம். ஸோ நம்ம இந்த இயரில் வந்து நம்ம சிஎஸ்ஆர் நிறைய பார்த்துட்ருக்கோம். பட் இவர் 2 இயர்ஸ் முன்னாடியே அந்த சிஎஸ்ஆரை சைலண்டாக பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு. தேங்க்யூ விஜய், தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு அது வெல்கம். அமர், ப்ளீஸ் கம். Amar, thank you Vijay, thank you Amar, thank you so much, thank you Balai sir.
So at this juncture, I'd like to introduce our DRFC Rotarian Dr. Dakshayani. She's of the BCG vaccine through the Government of India and UNICEF. She's also, interestingly, she's also co-founded an LLP for artworks named Art Cube Gallery. A very vibrant, diverse woman. Please welcome. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Archie. Always lovely to hear your voice. Thanks for the very crisp introduction. A very happy evening. Can I hear it from you all? Yeah, what a wonderful occasion to be here. I've been traveling since 8 in the morning, but I promised Balachandra for Arumbugal I will be there. So here I am. Let's all take a moment to thank the Rotary Foundation. I mean, I always go about telling we are all Rotarians. As Rotarians, we are part of Rotary International, where we pay our subscription to the Rotary International. That's a member-based organization. But when you contribute to the Rotary Foundation, then we are stakeholders of our organization. Yes, we meet for friendship, for leadership, for vocational exchange. That's the idea with which Paul Harris started Rotary International. But it took almost 12 years, 1905, and after 12 years, the Rotary Charitable Trust was formed. And look where we are today. 5 billion worth of projects done all across the world. Aren't we the proud members of such an international organization? Yes. And I'd like to touch upon the CSR India specific grants. It's an India specific CSR grant. So I will tell you tomorrow, if the rest of the world takes up the CSR grant with which we are doing this beautiful project today, India will be a pioneer and the forerunner. And for the information of the members of Rotary Club of Guindy, last year, CSR is just slowly catching on. It's only 3 years since we started, and the terms and conditions were formulated and firmed up much better last year when I took over as the DRFC. So immediately, Rotary Club of Guindy found its space. You jumped in and understood the grant and the cash additions that you can do for the corporate social responsibility. As always, the club was eager and ready to learn. 8 CSR projects were done among 31 projects last year. And this year, looks like 6 projects are going to come only from your club. So that shows the passion. It's all about just not us contributing all the time, but getting the corporates involved, which you have done so beautifully. Continue this journey. Looking forward. All the best, and wishing Balachandra the very best. Congratulations to you and your entire team. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for this short, crisp introduction to the foundation. The Rotary Foundation is. We are delighted to have Dr. Priya Ramachandran with us. She will now enlighten us about the invaluable works of the Child Trust Hospital and also share her insights on the epic Ramayana, a topic very close to my heart. I would like Rotarian Balaji to come and introduce our esteemed guest.
உலகம் யாவையும் தாமுல ஆக்கலும் நிலைப்பெறுத்தலும் நீங்களா அழகில்லா விளையாட்டுடையார் அவர் தலைவர் அன்னவருக்கே சரண் நாங்களே. A very good evening to all the dignitaries present here. A couple of weeks back, here in RCG, we had a glittering, colorful, grand curtain raiser of a signature project, Jean Harris Carnival. On the same day, same time, there was yet another colorful, glittering, grand book launch of Kamban and Marma Kodagal by our guest speaker this evening, not very far from here, in Vanimhal, T. Nagar. I happened to be there to witness this program, and after seeing the speaker without any paper, talking in a Varakadu Mantram on this great Kamban epic, wherein she had to face a lot of objections from the opposite party and also counter arguments, made me think, ஊசை பெற்று உயர் பார்க்கடல் உற்று பூசை ஒன்று நக்குபூ புக்கு என்று ஆசை பற்றி அறையில் ஊற்றேன் குற்றது ராமனின் கதை என்றோன்ற மாதிரி ஒரு பூனை வந்து a cat sitting in a corner of an ocean. It's like liking to drink the entire ocean. Is my stature to introduce the guest speaker for this evening with an in-depth knowledge on Kambaraman. When our president shared me the invite and said, "Sir, you should know this person, sir. She's such an humble human being. That's very, very important. You should go and tell her, if at all you're going for the function, that you're from RCG, see a reaction towards you. எங்க அப்பா ஒன்னு சொல்லுவாருங்க அடிக்கடி, ஒருத்தங்க மேல உயர உயர அவங்களுடைய பண்பும் உயர்னுவாரு, பணிவும் உயர்னுவாரு. Our guest speaker is very, very synonymous. Our guest speaker, who's the head of Kanchi Kamakoti Child Trust Hospital, a best outgoing student in the college days from Madras Medical College, FRCS from England, and further pediatric studies from Chennai, USA, and a daughter of doctors, coming from a doctor's family. I could see a family, friends, everyone sitting there. இது எங்க மேடம், இது எங்க டாக்டர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் போது I could see the kind of influence our guest speaker has created there in the audience, which makes me feel இனிய சொல்லினன் ஈகையன் எண்ணினன் வினையன் விழுமி தூயன் விழுமியன் வென்றினன் நீதி நேரி கடவான் ஏனைய மன்னருக்கும் அழிவும் உண்டோ, which is probably this leadership skills she has imbibed from the great epic Kamban. And to walk the talk about Igayan, she is the founder trustee of Ray of Foundation, where this foundation works on the full financial aid for all pediatric cancer surgeries. And that is, she's been doing a wonderful job on that aspect. The topic for today, life lessons from Kamban, which makes me think, மூலத்திலிருந்து மெல்ல மெல்ல காப்பியாடித்தான் கம்பன் அல்ல அல்ல காப்பியம் படைத்திருக்கிறான். So that is a great grandeur of this epic Kamban. And for my take, 2 cents on this take on the life lessons from Kamban, the entire Rama's army is ready to take on the war after all the negotiations failed. இந்த கடைசியில நிக்கிறாங்க, எல்லாருமே ரெடியா இருக்காங்க. அப்ப ராமன் சொல்றாரு, தூதுவன் ஒருவன் விரைவில் தூண்டி மாதுதனை விடுதியோ என்று உணர்த்த மறுக்கும் மாயின் காதுதல் கடன் என்று உள்ளம் கருதியது அறமும் அக்தே நீதியும் அக்தே என்றார். மீனிங், லாஸ்ட் ஒரே ஒரு ஆள் அனுப்பிடலாமே, அங்கதானே அனுப்பி விடுவோமே, எல்லாரும் என்னடா அது இவ்வளவு தூரம் முடிச்சுட்டு எல்லாம் ரெடியா நிக்கிறோமே சண்டைக்கு, இப்போ அனுப்ப சொல்றாங்களே அப்படின்னு எல்லாம் யோசிக்கும் போது இசை ஒரு தடவை, பிகாஸ் கராத்தே கிட்ல ரொம்ப அழகா சொல்லுவார் ஜாக்கி சான், அந்த பையன்ட்ட சொல்லுவார், the best fights are the fights which are not fought. So that is very, very important. This is one lesson which I thought I learned from Kamban. And our guest speaker who has ideated our recent program of the visit of Sri Narendra Modi's visit to the Sri Ranga temple, of the recital of verses of Kamban during that, with her own team of people, with all the great stalwarts of Kamban. And she also translated 4 verses to our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I could see her wondering, இவன் யாரையா இங்க என்கிட்டே கம்பராமாயணம் பேசிட்டு இருக்கிறான் அப்படின்னு. நதியின் பிழை அன்று டாக்டர், நதியின் பிழை அன்று நறுபுணல் இன்மை அற்றே பதியின் பிழை அன்று பயந்து நம்மை புறந்தாள் தாயின் பிழை அன்று மதியின் பிழை அன்று மகனின் பிழை அன்று மைந்தா இது விதியின் பிழை அப்படின்னு சொல்ற மாதிரி இன்னைக்கு நான் பேசணும்னு இருக்குது. இது ஸ்ரீகாந்த் என்ற ஒரு விதியால இங்க பேசிட்டு இருக்கேன், அதனால ஏதாவது பிழை இருந்தா மன்னிச்சுக்கோங்க. அண்ட் இது மட்டுமா, இவ்வளவு சொல்லிட்டோம். அண்ட் ஷீ இஸ் ஆல்சோ பாடும் குயில் அப்படின்னு பார்க்க வரும்போது, அவ்வண்ணம் நிகழ்ந்த வண்ணம் இனி இந்த உலகிற்கெல்லாம் உய்வண்ணம் அன்றி மற்றும் ஒரு துயர் வண்ணம் உருவது உண்டோ, மைவண்ணத்து அரக்கி போரில் மழை வண்ணத்து அண்ணலை உந்தன் கைவண்ணம் அன்று கண்டேன் கால் வண்ணம் என்று கண்டேன்ற மாதிரி பாடலுக்கு ஏற்ற மாதிரி அந்த வண்ணம்ன்றது ஒரு இடத்துலயும் வேற வேற அர்த்தம் கொடுக்கிற போல, our guest speaker has a different hats on a different occasions. Be it a doctor, be it a literary pundit, or whatever it is, a compassionate person, everything. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's put our hands together as I welcome the one and only Dr. Priya Ramachandran to this august audience. Thank you.
அனைவருக்கும் இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். காஞ்சி காமகோடி குழந்தைகள் அறக்கட்டளை மருத்துவமனை கிட்டத்தட்ட 40 ஆண்டுகளாக நுங்கம்பாக்கத்தில் குழந்தைகளுக்கு சேவை செய்து வருகிறது. இப்போது குழந்தைகள்னால், இப்போ ஸ்ரீகாந்த் சார் பாரதியுடைய பாப்பா பாட்டு சொன்னார், ஓடி விளையாடு பாப்பான்னு. அந்த பாட்டு எப்படி எப்படி உருவானதுங்கிறத பற்றி எனக்கு ஒரு கற்பனை தான், அது உண்மையாக இருக்கவும் வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது. பாரதியார் மனிதர்களை பார்த்து எத்தனையோ அறிவுரை சொன்னார். அச்சம் தவிர் என்று சொன்னார், மனிதன் மாறவில்லை. ஆண்மை தவறேல் என்று சொன்னார், மனிதன் மாறவில்லை. ஈகை திறன் என்று சொன்னார், மனிதன் மாறவில்லை. ரௌத்ரம் பழகு என்று சொன்னார், மனிதன் மாறவில்லை. மனிதன் மாறவே மாட்டான், பழையபடியே அப்படியே இருப்பான் என்று விரக்தியோடு பாரதி அங்கே உட்கார்ந்திருந்த குழந்தையை பார்த்து சொன்னார், ஓடி விளையாடு பாப்பா என்று. அந்த குழந்தை உடனே எழும்பி ஓடியது. குழந்தைகள் அவர்களின் மனப்பான்மை, அவர்களின் தன்மை அத்தனையும் இறைவனிடமிருந்து கடன் வாங்கியது. குழந்தைகள் இறைவனின் வடிவமாக உலகில் சுற்றித் திரிகிறார்கள். குழந்தைகள் நம்மை விட எவ்வளவோ சிறந்தவர்கள். அதனால் குழந்தைகளுக்கு சிகிச்சை செய்வதென்பது கடவுள் எங்களுக்கு கொடுத்த பாக்கியம். அந்த பாக்கியத்தில் இன்று உங்களுக்கும் ஒரு பங்குண்டு. இதற்கு நான் உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என் மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். Now coming to Kamban Ramayanam, I am switching to English because I want this epic to be understood by everybody. People who speak Tamil, who don't speak Tamil, who don't understand Tamil. I want everybody to understand what I'm going to say because I think this has a lot of relevance to our everyday life. Valmiki wrote his epic and Maharishi Valmiki titled it Ramayan. Many of you may know the word ayan in Sanskrit means journey. Ramayan means Rama's journey. Right there, the human nature of Rama is implied. Ramayan means journey of Rama, a man. Many years later, in the year 1200 AD, probably in the year 1200 AD, thousands of years later, Kamban rewrote the same epic and titled it Ramavataram. It is not a transliteration of Valmiki Ramayanam. He made several changes. Right from the title, he made many changes and he called it Ramavataram. Avataram is the act of God. God transforming himself and coming to earth to uphold Dharma. So in the title, the divinity of Rama is implied. Ramayanam, the human nature of Rama is implied. Ramavataram, the divinity of Rama is implied. So both these poets had very different views about the epic. Having said this, having given the name Ramavataram to his epic, Kamban goes on to portray Rama as a very vulnerable, sensitive human being, just like one of us. And it is a puzzle why he should do this. Because he implies, the deification of Rama begins with the very title. Why would he then go on to stress on his human nature? You see, when Sita is abducted, Rama is distraught. He and Lakshmana are following the marks created by Ravana's chariot. And as they follow the chariot marks out of the forest, they come upon Jadayu, lying on the ground, bleeding to death, his wings severed by Ravana's sword. So, Jadayu and Rama have a father-son relationship. When Rama first comes to the forest 14 years before this incident, Jadayu meets Rama, introduces himself as Dasharatha's friend. And when he hears that Dasharatha is no more, Jadayu is very upset and he goes on to show a lot of kindness to these two boys and to Sita, and he kind of adopts them as his family. So he becomes their de facto stepfather. So when Rama sees Jadayu bleeding on the ground, this compounds his sorrow, the sorrow of having lost Sita. Rama loses all sense of reason. He swears in anger. He says, I will destroy all the three worlds and everybody in it, because none of them came forward to help Sita or Jadayu. They were witnesses, silent witnesses to this crime. None of them came forward to help Sita and Jadayu. So I'm going to destroy the three worlds Rama has sworn to protect. When he says this, Jatayu looks at him and says, Vambu idai vanji vanatidai vaigai tamiyal கொம்பு இழை மானின் பின் போய் குலப்பழி கூட்டிக் கொட்டி. When you had your wife living with you in the forest, வம்பு இழை கொங்கை வஞ்சி, when Sita of such beauty was living with you in the forest, you had no business to leave her alone and go behind the golden deer. He says, because you went behind the golden deer, Ravana came and abducted your wife. Because Ravana abducted your wife, your entire Ishwaku clan has become disgraced. Kulappali kootik kondir. This is your fault. Why are you blaming the world for this? Umpidai என்பது அல்லால் உலகம் செய் பிழையுமுண்டோ. This is your fault. And when he says this to Rama, we are immediately reminded of our own children. I'm sure you've had the experience of your children who come to you. They complain about their teacher, they complain about their friends, they complain about the fights they've had. And you turn around and tell them that if you've got yourself into this situation, there must be a very good reason for it. You must have done something wrong. What did you do? This is what a good parent will tell his child. And that is what Jadayu says to Rama. And suddenly, this humanizes Rama and makes him like our own child. Similarly, when another incident, when Rama goes to the forest, goes to Lanka to fight with Ravana, towards the end of the fight, the Rakshasas know that they cannot win and they resort to using devious magic. So Indrajit brings the Rakshasa woman, converts her into Sita, into Maya Sita, and brings this Maya Sita to Hanuman, and in front of Hanuman, he cuts off the head of Maya Sita. Hanuman thinks this is Sita who has been beheaded. He runs to Rama and tells him this news. And Rama is overwhelmed with grief. This time, he blames himself. He says, my fate is very bad. I am destined to bring sorrow to everybody I come in contact with. Because of my bad destiny, 3 innocent women are suffering in Ayodhya. The 3 innocent women are his 3 mothers, who have now become widowed, Kausalya, Kaikeyi and Sumitra. Because of me, my innocent brothers are suffering. And now because of me, my wife has been killed. And so, just like us, when we are confronted with sorrow, what do? We blame fate. And we blame ourselves. How many times we have said this to ourselves? This is exactly what Rama says. So this again humanizes Rama. And yet, this very same Rama, when Dasharatha gives him the kingdom of Kosala on a platter, an empire, the capital city of Ayodhya, Kamban says, தாதை அப்பரிசு உரை செய்ய தாமரை கண்ணன் காதலுற்றிலன் நிகழ்ந்திலன். தாமரை கண்ணன், such beautiful eyes like a lotus petal. But those eyes had no expression. Those eyes were expressionless because he had no passion for becoming a king. The same Rama, when Kaikeyi took away that kingdom, when Kaikeyi said, you go to the forest, this kingdom belongs to Bharata, Kamban says, at that time I looked upon Rama's face and I find it difficult to put into words, I find it difficult to express what I saw. Ippoludhu emmanoral iyambudharkku elidho. How can I express what I saw? Words fail me. Yarum sepparum gunathu Raman tirumugam seppi nokkin oppadu munbu. Rama's face was always beautiful. Oppadu munbu. It has always been beautiful. But once he heard this news, Kamban says, his face blossomed like a lotus. Oppadu munbu பின்பு அவ்வாசகம் உணரக் கேட்ட அப்பொழுது அலர்ந்த செந்தாமரையினை ஒத்ததம்மா. Not just any lotus, but a lotus that has just opened up. So Rama's face broke out into the most beautiful smile when he heard that he had to go to the forest. This means that Rama was a person who knew that power and glory had no meaning, that kingship had no meaning. He was not interested in positions, he was not interested in the crown. So, if this quality was God's quality, if this quality was the quality of God high above in the heavens, we would never even think of aspiring to that. Gods are meant to be worshipped, not emulated. But this quality is a quality of a man. A man who is vulnerable like us, weeps like us, cries like us. So that means we can aspire to obtain this quality. The next thing is Rama's love. Not for just people who belong to his inner circle, but for people he didn't even know, for people he was meeting the very first time. He goes to the banks of the Ganga. On his way to the south, he goes to the banks of the Ganga and he meets Guhan. In Valmiki's epic, Guhan is a boatman. In Kamban's epic, Guhan is a boatman and a hunter and the king of a small kingdom called Shringiberam at the banks of the Ganges. But this Guhan is brutish, dark, tall, big made, with unkempt hair and reeking of fish. He comes to see Rama with his brutish appearance. Rama is in a hermitage with the other sages, and he walks into this hut. He sees Rama. He falls at Rama's feet. This great big figure, this warrior, falls at Rama's feet and sobs like a child. He says, Karkulam nirattan kura kadalan unartuvan ipparkulam selva ninna inganam partha kangalai ஈர்க்கிலா கல்வனேன் யான் இன்னலின் நிறுத்தை நீ நோக்கி தீர்க்கிலன் ஆவது ஐய செய்குவன் அடிமை. He says, Rama, I came here to see the prince of Ayodhya. I expected to see you in royal attire. Instead, here you are wearing the garb of an ascetic. You are wearing maruvuri. Maruvuri is a cloth made from tree bark. A very rough fabric. You are wearing maruvuri. And I am a sinner because after having seen you in this, in your misfortune, I have not plucked out my eyes. I should have done that. So Rama lost something. Rama lost his kingdom. So to empathize with Rama, Guhan wants to give up his eyes. Rama is stunned by Guhan's love. Annavan urai kela amalanum urai nervan ennuyir kanayai நீ இவ்விளையவன் உன் இளையான் இந்நன்னுதலால் நின் கேள் நளிர் கடல் நிலமெல்லாம் உன்னுடையது நான் உன் தொழில் உரிமையில் உள்ளேன். Rama says, everything that belongs to me is yours. Lakshmana is your brother. Sita is your sister-in-law. This empire, nalir, kadal, nilam, everything is yours. I belong to you. And he surrenders to Guhan's love. When Rama left for the forest, there were 4 brothers. They were a band of 4. When Rama came back from the forest, they were 7. Guhan became the 5th brother. Sugrivan became the 6th brother. And Vibhishanan became the 7th brother. Sugrivan is a monkey, comes from a group of, from a culture that is far inferior to Rama's culture. Yet he became the 6th brother. Vibhishanan is an asura, who looked exactly like Ravana. Kamban says that when Vibhishana first came to Rama's camp, the seashore, the Vanaras jumped upon him, they attacked him thinking Ravana has come. And Vibhishana comes asking for Abhayam. Abhayam is protection. So Kamban says, Vibhishana comes asking for protection, and Rama discusses this along with his inner circle. And everybody in the inner circle says, don't give Vibhishana Abhayam. Sugrivan says, he is Ravana's brother, he has come here as a spy, don't trust him. Jambavan, the king of the bears, says, do not give Abhayam to a Rakshasa. But what does Rama say? Indru vandan endru undo. Yendayai yayai kondru vandan endru undo. Adaikalam koorugindran. He has just come now. I'm seeing him for the very first time. But does that matter? Even if he has killed my father and my mother, he is now asking for my protection. Tundri vandu anbu seyyum tunaivanum avane. If I give him protection tomorrow, he may do me a favor. Pinnai pindrum yendralum nampal pugalandri piridundamo. Even if he doesn't do me a favor, even if he does harm to me in the future, I will be praised for having given him abhayam because he came seeking. That is Rama's Saranagati Kolge. Now, you may say that Saranagati is an act of God. Is it? So many people come to you every day asking for your protection in various ways. And what do you say? This is beyond my reach. But the same Rama who cried like you, who lived like you, who was exposed to same sorrows as you in a much greater magnitude, if he can find the goodness in his heart to do this, why can't you? And Vibhishana is crowned king of Lanka in that very seashore. A very controversial thing that Rama does. Ravana is alive and well in Lanka. Here Rama is in Dhanushkodi. He crowns Vibhishana as the king of Lanka. The reason he does this is he believes that a ruler must uphold dharma. If a ruler does not uphold dharma, he loses the moral authority to rule. Ravana has abducted another man's wife. He has broken the essential basic law of dharma. He has lost the moral authority to rule, and so Rama crowns Vibhishana as the king of Lanka. He doesn't do it himself. He asks Lakshmana to crown Vibhishana. So Lakshmana takes this crown and goes towards Vibhishana, and Vibhishana says, "Stop." He says, "Before you crown me, I want to make a request. Ilayavan kavitta mauli ennayum kavitti. I don't want this crown. Give me the same crown that Ilayavan, Bharadan, is wearing." And what crown is that? Rama's Padukas. These four boys, the four brothers, they were unique. They had this bond of love which was unbreakable. That bond of love was beyond kingship. They did not want the kingdom of Ayodhya. They kept throwing it at each other like passing the ball. And when Bharadan was given this kingdom, what did he do? He ran to Chitrakoodam, where Rama was, fell at Rama's feet and begged him to come back to Ayodhya. When Rama refused, he took Rama's Padukas, placed it on his head, came back to Ayodhya, did not enter the city. He stayed outside in a village called Nandiyambadi. And he did puja to the Padukas and ruled in the name of the Padukas for 14 years. That was Bharadan's love. When Vibhishana says to Rama, "Ilayavan kavitta mauli ennayum kavitti." He says, "Give me your Padukas. Put your Padukas on my head, not this crown." Rama is touched. Rama says, "Guhanodum aivaranum munbu. Guhanodum aivaranum munbu. Pin kundru sulvan maganodum aruvaranum. Yemmurai anbil vanda aganamar kadalayya." He's looking at Vibhishana and saying, "We became 5 with Guhan. We became 6 with Sugrivan. Now you. Yemmurai anbil vanda aganamar kadalayya. How beloved you are." He's looking at somebody who looks exactly like Ravana and saying, "You are beloved. Unnodu eduvarano. Now you have become my 7th brother." The great thing here is, "Minnolir kanam tandu pudalvaral polindan nundai." What a great gift my father gave me. Minnolir kanam. He gave me this bright shining forest full of demons, forest full of hurdles, forest where life was extremely difficult. But to Rama, it is a minnolir kana. He gave me this great forest because only in this forest I could acquire brothers like you. And now your father, Nundai, Pudalvaral Polindan Nundai, your father is very proud, glowing with pride because he has 7 sons. And he refers to Dasarathan as Nundai, not my father, not our father, your father. So Dasarathan, the scion of the Ishwaku clan, has become the father of Ravana's brother. This is Rama's love. How could Rama be like that? Can we even aspire to be like that? To understand this, you must go back to Rama's principle, the principle that made Rama Rama. So when he was in Kishkinda, he killed Vali, with one arrow. And Vali has this long argument with him. Vali says, "Why did you kill me? Why did you kill me from in hiding? Is this dharma? Is this what your father taught you? Is this what you learned from your brother Bharata? Rakshasa king abducted your wife. Instead of that, you're killing the king of monkeys? Is this your sense of justice?" Long argument with Rama, and Rama justifies it by saying, "You did something unnatural. You abducted your own brother's wife. And you wanted to kill your own brother, your blood brother." And Vali says, "No, Rama, in our clan, there are no rules of marriage. There is no ritual. There is no sanctity for matrimony. We can live with whoever we want. We are animals." And Rama looks at Vali and says, "Takkadu inna, tagadadu inna, என்று ஒக்க உன்னலராயின் உயர்ந்துள மக்களும் விலங்கே." A human being knows the difference between right and wrong. We know what a man knows what is good and what is bad. Despite that, if he persists in doing bad things, he is an animal. You must consider him an animal. மனுவின்னெறி புக்கவேல் அவ்விலங்கும் புத்தேளிரே. If an animal lives according to the laws of dharma, in those days the law of dharma was called Manu Dharma. If an animal lives according to the laws of dharma, that animal should be considered as a god, like Jadayu. Jadayu was a bird, a creature without a sixth sense. Yet he fought for dharma, he sacrificed his life for dharma. So Jadayu should be considered as a god. So you judge a person not by how they look. You judge a person not by how they look, not by who they are, not by where they come from, not by their race, their gender. You judge a person for what they do. This was the principle that made Rama Rama. You know, I keep telling in to a lot of audiences that we would have celebrated Diwali 10 days earlier. 5 days earlier if Rama had killed Ravana on that very first day. He had the opportunity. The battle began in the morning. Ravana's dear friend and commander Pragathan was killed in the morning. Ravana came to the battlefield in the afternoon, and by evening, Ravana was standing without any weapons. Nirayudan, nothing, no crown. All 10 crowns were rolling on the ground or fallen into the sea. Shiva's sword, Chandrahasam, missing in action. All hands bare and empty. So Rama looks at Ravana and says, "How can I fight with you? ஆளைய உனக்கு அமைந்த மாருதம் மறைந்த பூளையாயின கண்டனை." I don't see any weapons in your hand. Like cotton wisps float in the air, all your weapons have floated away, disappeared. இன்று போய் போருக்கு நாளை வா. Go now and come tomorrow if you want to fight with me. இன்று போய் போருக்கு நாளை வா. If you don't want to fight with me, don't come. I'll come for a compromise and you give me back Sita, I'll go away. Even then he was ready to compromise, because it is our actions that define who we are. If at that point Ravana had surrendered, Rama would have given him Saranagati. In fact, Lakshmana asked him this very question. You mentioned Angadan Tud. When Raman sends 3 messengers. The first is Anuman, who is not sent as a messenger. He is sent on a fact-finding mission, but he also goes in front of Ravana and appeals to him to release Sita. Then Rama sends 2 Rakshasas who come into his camp as spies. He sent them back as messengers. And the third one is Angad. The day before, moments before the battle is about to start. And Lakshmana says, "Have you lost it? You are sending this man, you are sending Angadan as a messenger to this man who has killed countless sages, who has killed our stepfather, who has abducted and imprisoned your wife." And Rama says, "But that is dharma." You see, the question arises now, would it be possible to emulate this very high standard that Rama sets for us? If it's not possible to emulate the standard, there's no point reading the epic. The Nalayiram Divya Prabandhams, each and every pasuram is a worship of Lord Narayana. And it is recited in temples and it is memorized and recited and chanted as a form of worship. Kamba Ramayanam is not chanted anywhere as a form of worship. Recently, when I was asked to meet the Prime Minister, I was asked if Kamba Ramayanam, if there was a way to sing Kamba Ramayanam like the Tevarams, the Oduvar's tradition of singing the Tevarams. But Kamba Ramayanam is not a book of worship. It is a lesson in life. Kamba Ramayanam is not created with the goal of having us look up to a distant god. Kamba Ramayanam is created with the goal of making man God. If Rama was full of divine qualities, if Rama was deified throughout the epic, he would be way beyond our reach. But because Rama is so human, so much like us, if Rama can be like us, why can't we be like him? That is a question that Kamban makes us ask. It makes each and every one of us ask ourselves. If Rama can be like us, why can't we be like him? And so, this great epic has stood the test of time, and it has not been an easy test. இந்த காப்பியத்திற்கு எதிராக எரிப்பு போராட்டம் நடந்தது, எதிர்ப்பு போராட்டம் நடந்தது. இதையெல்லாம் தாண்டியும் இந்த காப்பியம் நிற்கிதுன்னா இந்த காப்பியத்தில் சொல்கிற அத்தனை விஷயமும் உண்மை. திருக்குறள் is the Tamil Vedam. All the great principles of the Vedam is expounded in Tirukkural. But when you go for your driving test, you have to learn the rules. Look left before you turn, look right before you turn. You learn the rules, you memorize the rules and go for your driving test. But only when you see the picture, the line diagram posters, only then are you able to relate to the rules. Rama is the Vedanayagan. Kamban himself calls him Vedanayagan because he lived according to the tenets of the Tirukkural. And he lived according to the tenets of the Tirukkural to inspire us to live according to the same tenets. Rama is not far away in the heavens. He is right here, right next to us, inspiring us every single moment of our lives. Thank you very much.
We would like to say.
What I wanted to know was like, what is the major difference between Valmiki Ramayana and Kamban Ramayana? Are there like too many differences or?
Yeah, there are many differences. The one I told you about is a major difference. In Valmiki Ramayanam, he does not make these three people his brothers. So the Sagodaratvam is unique to Kamba Ramayanam. And in Valmiki Ramayanam, Sita is cruelly abducted. The Ravana, the Rakshasa, grabs hold of her neck and her waist and lifts her up and puts her on the Pushpaka Vimana. Deeply disturbing to read when you read the original. Whereas in Kamban, Ravana lifts her up along with the hut in which she lives. He doesn't touch her body, and so Kamban kind of creates a problem for himself because he has to justify the Agni Pariksha. In Valmiki Ramayanam, the Agni Pariksha happens because Ravana touched Sita's body. So there's a reason for the Agni Pariksha. In Kamba Ramayanam, Ravana doesn't touch Sita at all. So what is the reason for the Agni Pariksha? Kamban makes it an Agni Pariksha for the tongue. See, Sita is very harsh with Lakshmana during the episode of the golden deer. The golden deer, as he is dying, Marichan, as he is dying, cries out the name of cries out the name of Sita and Lakshmana in Rama's voice. And so Sita says, go now to your brother's help. And Lakshmana refuses. He says, my brother doesn't need my help. At that point, Sita turns to him and says, Nindra ninnila idu neriyatru andru. You are standing here because you have bad intentions towards me. something she never should have said to a boy who worshipped her like a mother. He was a mother to her. Yeah, he was a son to her. And so, because he says this, uh, Rama knows that Sita has committed this sin, her tongue has committed the sin, and this whole Agni Paricha is structured so beautifully so that the tongue is purified by this act. And the purification of the tongue happens long before Sita enters the fire. Rama is accusing her. There is a whole crowd of Rakshasas and Vanaras standing before them. This is the gruesome battlefield, vultures, demons, bodies of dead asuras all around. And in this scene, Rama is accusing her very cruelly. And Sita looks around. She can't find Lakshmana. She sees him somewhere in the background and she says, "Come here." She calls him and says, "Light a fire for me." Rama never asks her to jump into the fire. In Kamban Ramayanam, Rama never even mentions the word Agni. Podiyal takkadu or neri sadiyal. Get lost. Go somewhere and die, I don't care. This is all he says. She calls Lakshmana and says, "Create an Agni Gundam." Because she wants to show Rama that she is purifying her tongue, because she knows that Rama is saying this because he knows the sin that she has committed and he wants her to atone for it in public. And so she calls Lakshmana and asks him to do it. She could have asked Anuman, she could have asked Vibhishanan, she could have asked Sugrivan, she could have asked anybody. So many people were there around her, but she calls this boy because she wants to atone to him for having said these words, and she puts herself through the Agni Pariksha. So even when she says these words, Idaditi, create an Agni Kundam, Kamban says that Lakshmana looks at Rama. Ulaivuru Manattavan. That is, with such grief, Lakshman looks at Rama. Ulagam Yavaikum Kalaigane Nokka Avan Kannin Kurina. Rama, with his eyes, gives assent, gives permission to do this. See, when you go for a kacheri, sometimes the two ragams look very similar. I don't know enough of music to name such ragams, but when a singer is singing some ragam, it's actually, you think it is one ragam, it's actually another ragam, but the singer, the violin vidwan and the mridangam vidwan know what ragam it is. Similarly, in Kamban's Agni Pariksha, Rama, Sita and Lakshmana knew the true reason for this Agni Pariksha. Nobody else knew it. They all thought, Rama is doing something stupid by asking her to purify her body when Ravana has not touched her. But it was actually Navukku Agni Pariksha. So these are the major changes that Kamban makes.
Thank you, ma'am. Ramavadaram is an epic for everyday life. Dr. Priya has humanized the great hero Rama for us. I always looked at Rama as that perfect example of how a man should live life with ethics. But she has showed us how human he can be. All the emotions that every human has: love, revenge, joy, sorrow, respect, vulnerability, bravery, protection. Fraternal bond, a strong bond of brotherhood. We would like to believe that all of us in RCG share that fraternal bond. Let more projects like Arumbugal blossom. Thank you, ma'am. We would like to invite the CFO of Child Trust Hospital, Mr. Rangarajan, to say a few words.
ஈதல் இசைபட வாழ்தல் அது வல்ல ஊதியம் இல்லை உயிர்க்கு. ஈதல்ங்கிறது whatever Rotary and the people who have donated this, ஈதல் whatever is they have done, ஈதல் இசைபட வாழ்தல் அது வல்ல, அது இல்லாட்டா ஊதியம் இல்லை உயிர்க்கு, அது இல்லாட்டா மனுஷனா வாழ்றதுல அர்த்தமே இல்லை. அதுதான் சொல்லணும். ஸோ whatever you have done is what we are trying to do and what Rotary does and all the donors are doing. On behalf of Child Trust, I profoundly, sincerely thank all of you for the support which have been rendered, since the commencement of the Child Trust Hospital from Rotary, and it's continuing. I sincerely request continued support as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your appreciation, sir. We'd like to felicitate you.
I want to thank Dr. Priya. It was a fantastic enlightenment to all of us. What I felt so proud was not a single drop of, absolute silence listening to you. Thank you very much.